Here he is on the self-aggrandizing part of his speech where he's talking about all the toys that he thinks are his to play with because he's like a 5-year-old getting a new jet.
I think we should maybe start thinking about battleships, by the way. You know, we have a Secretary of the Navy came to me because I look at the Iowa out in California and I look at different ships and the old pictures. I used to watch Victory at Sea. I love Victory at Sea. Look at these admirals. It's got to be your all-time in black and white. And I look at those ships. They came with the destroyers alongside of them, and man, nothing was going to stop. They were 20 deep, and they were in a straight line, and there was nothing going to stop them. And we actually talk about, you know, those ships. Some people would say, no, that's old technology. I don't know. I don't think it's old technology when you look at those guns. But it's something we're actually considering, the concept of battleship. Nice 6-inch sides, solid steel, not aluminum that melts if it looks at a missile coming at it. It starts melting as the missile's about 2 miles away. Now, those ships, they don't make them that way anymore, but you look at it and your secretary likes it, and I'm sort of open to it. And bullets are a lot less expensive than missiles. A lot of reasons. I should take a vote, but I'm afraid to take that vote because I may get voted out on that one. But I tell you, it's something we're seriously considering. There were powers. There were big powers. They were just about as mean and scary as you could be. And so we're looking at that.
Battleships. He wants battleships. Because, you know, those are fun toys, not aluminum, just rambling, just an old man rambling about his fantasies of murder, of mass murder and being a tough guy. I mean, it looks so much better. I mean, it costs so much different. I mean, I'd rather have bullets. I mean, let's bring back some cannons. He mentioned black and white movies of battleships. This motherfucker is the one that's running this country, talking about the toys that he thinks he can play with. He kept a straight face and told military leaders from across the world, American military leaders that are stationed across the world, this about what he thinks about the way that things should look.
Second World War, they were freighters and different types, but we were doing a ship a day, and now we don't do ships. And I'm not a fan of some of the ships you do. I'm a very aesthetic person, and I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say, oh, it's stealth. I said, that's not stealth. An ugly ship is not necessary in order to say you're stealth. By the way, the B-2 bombers were incredible. That is stealth.
Donald Trump is an aesthetic person. As he, posts about all the gold-plated shit that's in the White House and the Oval Office and the gold-plated ballroom that he's building. He's an aesthetic person. What he wants to make sure you guys know is make sure the battleships are gold-plated. These jets, they're not incognito enough. We need gold on them. So again, speaking to military leaders, this guy, one of his objectives, after the loyalty pledges and the talks of savage behavior and attacking Americans, and after all that, I'm an aesthetic guy and I don't like the way these things look. They have to look different for me. My toys don't look how I want them to look. What's with that ugly color? Ew, you mean army green? Ew, that's so ugly. I don't like it. Let's change the color. He even thinks that everything, as far as the naming of this equipment, is about him.
I didn't name it. I did not name it. Boeing came in and they said, sir, this is our submittal. It's the greatest fighting jet ever done. And, they're testing all these planes. All the companies are testing, and this one tested like through the roof. And they said, we'd like to name it the F-47. I said, all right, let me think about it. Then after thinking for about 2 seconds, I said, okay. You know what that means, 47, I'm 47. So I'm 45, 46, and 47, if you think about it. I just don't want the credit for 46. I don't want to have their open borders and people coming in from all over the world, including jails and mental institutes. I don't want that on my record, but I like having it.
It's obvious. The fighter jets are named after 47. They're named after him because Donald Trump thinks he's the most important person in the world, when in reality, he's actually the dumbest person in the world, and keeps displaying how embarrassing it is to have to live under this trash-ass person who thinks everything revolves around him. And then when those things are affected by him, they get screwed up. And, as he's talking about how he doesn't want the 4 years under 46 to have to be dealt with. You mean that time when the economy was decent, and since then you've screwed the whole thing up? He doesn't want any connection to that. He wants a connection to tariffs and inflation and horrific policies and job losses. That's what he wants a connection to. It's loser. So as usual, as he's taking everyone's money, this is his full objective. And the reasons behind it we've just covered, because he wants the gold plated planes, he wants the things named after him, and he wants to have toys to unleash them on whoever it is that he wants. But this is how he's going to get there.
Purposes of American military is not to protect anyone's feelings, it's to protect our republic, and it's the republic that we dearly love. It's to protect our country. We will not be politically correct when it comes to defending American freedom, and we will be a fighting and winning machine. We want to fight, we want to win, and we want to fight as little as possible. You have to count on people like me to keep you out of wars, because we don't want to go into wars. Many of the wars that I just told you about, we could have entered those wars and settled them in a different way, lose a lot of our troops. And we could have settled them, I guess, differently. Maybe not, actually. Actually, you might not have been able to settle them. We just would have been in the middle of a lot of firepower. But when we do need it, you're going to be so ready. And you know it. But very importantly, with that goal in mind, I've committed to spending over $1 trillion on our military in 2026, and that's the most in the history of our country. $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. I hope you like that. Ma'ams and sirs, I hope you like it. That's a hell of a lot of money. We have the best of everything.
$1 trillion. So forget to talk about how often previous administrations, previous Congress, all of them have been a part of overloading the military with all this money that we've lost, money that we've wasted, money that we have no idea where it went and how we did it. But we just build things, and as they get old, we hand them off to some other police departments because we never got a chance to get around all those armored vehicles. Let's put $1 trillion towards this savage war fighting machine that's going to not only attack internationally and completely ignore all kinds of rules of engagement, as Pete Hegseth talked about, but they're then going to go fight that war from within in those inner cities and in those blue states so we can squash them and kill them. I guess the majority of us are just waiting to get killed because that's what he's talking about.